The master picked up a large bowl, scooped 2 generous ladles from the pot emanating a rich meat aroma, and handed it to Tang San. He then grabbed 2 steamed buns and 2 eggs from the side, placing them on a plate in front of him. Eat up. You kids are all growing and need plenty of nutrition. A good body is the foundation of cultivation. Without a strong body, how can you withstand immense soul power? I thought carefully about your experience in the Stardow Forest, especially absorbing the spirit ring of the man-faced demon spider beyond your level. Your success was not only due to your strong will, but also because of your robust body. Many soul masters focus solely on cultivating their soul power and techniques, neglecting basic physical training. In the short term, this may not be evident, but over time, it will certainly limit higher-level advancement. Taking the breakfast the master handed him, Tang Sen couldn't help but feel his appetite stir. The rich meat soup had clearly been simmering for a long time, the small chunks of meat stewed to perfect tenderness, with a faint medicinal fragrance. Just the smell made Tang San's stomach rumble. The master's culinary skills were better than expected. The meat soup was rich and savory, with the tender meat melting in his mouth, complemented perfectly by the 2 steamed buns and eggs. Since arriving at Shrek Academy, this was the first time Tang San had eaten such a satisfying breakfast. The warm feeling from his stomach spread through his body, making him feel indescribably comfortable. As Tang San finished eating, he heard Xiao Wu's voice from outside. "It smells so good, there must be something special to eat today." 2 people walked into the cafeteria, Xiao Wu and her roommate, Ning Rongrong. Though others might not know the master's temperament, Xiao Wu was very familiar. Having been Tang San's companion for many years, she had a good understanding of the master as well. "A good morning, master." Xiao Wu greeted the master respectfully. The master nodded at her, but didn't show the same smile he had for Tang San. In fact, it was rare for anyone other than Tang San to see the master smile. Ning Rongrong sniffed the air, still a bit groggy from being dragged up by Xiao Wu, but the rich aroma of the meat soup gradually woke her up. The master handed each of them a bowl of meat soup, a steamed bun, and an egg, which was half of what he had given Tang San. After all, girls generally eat less. Eat quickly, there's more if you need it. The enticing smell of the meat soup made Xiao Wu and Ning Rongrong start eating their breakfast right away. Seeing Xiao Wu bring Ning Rongrong over, Tang Sen suddenly realized he should also bring Oscar. Oscar knew the master even better and understood his temperament, which wasn't as calm as it seemed. The master's unyielding personality was true to his name, extremely resolute. With this thought, Tang Sen quickly excused himself to call Oscar and the others over. Thanks to Tang San's efforts, everyone enjoyed the breakfast. Though some initially grumbled about being woken up early, they all praised the delicious and hearty meal after eating it. Half an hour later, the class bell rang, signaling time for assembly. The sun shone brightly, bringing warmth and vitality. Everything revived under the sunny sky, marking the start of a new day. The master stood in the center of the field with his hands behind his back, looking at the 7 students lined up by age. Today, he was the only teacher present. Flender had said that from today, all the academy's teachers would cooperate with the master's teaching. The master's cold gaze swept over the students. Tomorrow, I want to see you in the cafeteria even earlier for breakfast. Food needs time to digest, and you can't do strenuous activities right after eating. I'll prepare breakfast at dawn. If you don't come within half an hour, you won't eat. His stern gaze indicated he knew some weren't listening, but he didn't repeat himself. I've understood your respective martial souls and abilities. Starting today, I'll intensify your training. Dai Mubai, step forward. Dai Mubai stepped out, his eyes flashing. Though his private life might have been a mess, he was a good student in class. To him, the teacher's word was law. The master looked at the tall Dai Mubai. Here's your task. Starting now, defeat each of the other 6 without causing serious injury. What? Dai Mubai was startled, looking at the master in surprise. The master's expression hardened. You have 37 levels of soul power. The highest among them is only 31. Is there a problem? Dai Mubai turned to look at the others, his eyes first falling on Tang San. He could ignore others, but Tang San's formidable hidden weapons made him cautious. Tang San, step forward. The master's voice sounded again. Tang San immediately stepped forward to stand beside Dai Mubai. The master looked at Tang San. You cannot use your third soul skill or those special weapons of yours. Begin. Wait a moment, Dai Mubai interjected. Master, that's not fair. If Tang San can't fight at full strength, then what's the point? His level is already lower than mine, and if his soul skills are restricted, it would be too easy for me. Although Tang San's third soul ring from the man-faced demon spider is very powerful, I have confidence in myself. The master replied calmly, if he uses his third soul ring, you won't stand a chance. Control-type soul masters are the strongest in one-on-one battles unless they encounter a counter. Since you insist, let Tang San use his third soul ring. As partners, you need to understand each other. The others instinctively stepped back, including the master. With soul power over 30 levels, their strength was formidable, and their control wasn't yet precise, making it easy to injure bystanders. Dai Mubai's eyes gradually turned red. Although his opponent was 6 levels lower, he dared not be careless. Shrek Academy's students were all extraordinary, but Tang San was the one he truly feared. Little San, be careful. I won't hold back, Dai Mubai warned. Tang San nodded, not speaking. He could clearly feel Dai Mubai's muscles tensing, ready to pounce like a tiger. Pale light burst from Dai Mubai's body. His arms extended, chest puffed out, bones crackling as his muscles swelled, straining his clothes. The air around him seemed to grow agitated. Dai Mubai's white tiger martial soul had fully possessed him. Blue light surged from Tang San, his blue-silver grass subtly extending from his feet, enhanced by the man-faced demon spider's spirit ring. Raising his right hand solemnly, Tang San said, Mubai, if you can break my third soul skill, you win. Dai Mubai's spirit lifted. Not just him, but all the onlookers focused on Tang San, eager to see the strength of his third soul skill after enduring such pain. Dai Mubai's eyes merged into one, his third soul ring glowing. The white tiger King Kong transformation erupted. His already robust body swelled further, muscles bulging exaggeratedly. His shirt tore apart, revealing his formidable physique, black stripes appearing on his skin. His tiger claws enlarged, the blades gleaming silver, and his whole body shone with intense golden light, exuding a kingly aura. Dai Mubai had used the White Tiger King Kong transformation to break Tang San's second soul ring skill, parasitic, before. Now, facing Tang San again, he used his strongest soul skill, aiming to slice through the blue-silver grass. Be careful. Tang San's blue-silver grass activated, tendrils surging forth from all directions, encircling Dai Mubai. As a power-type soul master, Dai Mubai wasn't known for agility. Seeing the encroaching blue-silver grass, he didn't dodge but charged forward, the golden light around him intensifying. After 3 steps, Dai Mubai's robust body halted, ensnared by the first soul ring skill, binding. The tendrils wrapped tightly around him. Instinctively, Dai Mubai tried to break free, but the blue-silver grass, strengthened by the third soul ring, was much tougher. Despite his efforts, he couldn't tear the grass apart. Instead, it bit into his muscles. The sharp thorns on the ghost vine protruded quietly. If it weren't for Dai Mubai's incredibly tough skin under the white tiger diamond transformation, the poison from the fusion of the ghost vine and the human-faced demon spider would have already invaded him. However, dealing with the 37th level Dai Mubai wasn't easy. Realizing he couldn't break free from the blue-silver grass using brute force, his trapped hands started moving. The blades on his tiger claws suddenly extended and vibrated intensely at a certain frequency, cutting into the blue-silver grass. If Dai Mubai managed to free his hands and unleash his full soul power, even these enhanced blue-silver grasses wouldn't be able to restrain him. But Tang San never expected to directly restrain Dai Mubai with these blue-silver grasses alone, considering the latter's 37 levels of soul power. His goal was merely to temporarily restrict Dai Mubai's movements to give himself time to activate his third soul skill. The essence of a control-type soul master is to control the opponent from the beginning of the battle until the end. As the green-blue orb of light was launched from Tang San's hand, Dai Mubai noticed it. Although his body was bound, he could still move. He knew that the light orb from Tang San's hand was likely his third soul ring. Without hesitating about his image, he leaned to one side and fell sideways. He needed time. As long as he could break free from the blue-silver grass, with his 37 levels of soul power, combined with the doubled strength and attack boost from the white tiger diamond transformation, he was confident he could counter Tang San's third soul ring. Under the astonished gazes of the onlookers, the blue-green light expanded instantly, forming a 5-meter diameter net that descended from above. Although Dai Mubai rolled, he couldn't escape the range of the net. The expansion speed of the net was too fast, and the light orb had been thrown with Tang San's slingshot technique, moving at a terrifying speed. Buzzing, the huge web suddenly enveloped Dai Mubai, tightly binding his entire body. Just as he was about to continue cutting the blue-silver grass with his tiger claws, a strong paralyzing and burning sensation spread from the seemingly thinner-than blue-silver grass web strands. Even with the powerful white tiger diamond transformation, he couldn't dispel the paralysis. The strong adhesive nature of the web wrapped Dai Mubai's body like a cocoon, tightening constantly. The sharpness of his tiger claws was rebounded by the web, leaving no mark at all. Dai Mubai activated his soul power fully, trying to break free from the paralysis and web, but the more he struggled, the tighter the web wrapped around him. The feeling of being powerless caused the evil-eyed white tiger extreme frustration. The paralysis intensified, weakening his soul power struggle. The blue-green glowing web tightened, causing his bones to creak. That's enough," said the master calmly. Tang San hurried forward, wiping his hand over the web. Strangely, the adhesive web turned back into light, silently merging into Tang San's hand and disappearing. The blue-silver grass entwining Dai Mubai also transformed into streams of light and vanished. This is my third soul skill, web binding," Tang San explained as he helped the fallen Dai Mubai up, simultaneously absorbing the web toxin from Dai Mubai's body back into his own. The master walked up to them, looking at the frustrated Dai Mubai, and said calmly, "Control is the unique ability of control-type soul masters. Generally, their attacks are weak, but their control is extremely strong. Below level 60, a skilled control-type soul master can control an opponent within a 10-level difference. Besides countering the control-type soul master's martial soul, the best way to deal with them is to not give them the chance to control you. As a power attack-type soul master, control-type soul masters are your nemesis. In such situations, you should distance yourself from the control-type soul master." Looking at the others, the master continued, "Every soul master has their strengths and weaknesses. There are no perfect soul masters in this world. However," he paused, "there can be perfect teams. An individual strength cannot achieve absolute power, but a team can achieve perfection through coordination. By complementing each other's abilities, you can face any enemy." Tang San's third soul skill has strong control, but it has clear weaknesses, usage limits and control range. A speed attack type soul master can avoid his attacks by keeping distance. You are a team. When facing enemies, your first task is to cover each other's weaknesses and maximize your strengths. Then you will become invincible among those of the same level. Dai Mubai, continue your lesson. Next, you will face the combinations of Zhu Zhuqing and Ning Rongrong, as well as Oscar and Ma Hongjun. Having retracted his white tiger diamond transformation, Dai Mubai, with his evil eyes flashing, simply nodded without saying anything. The master turned to Tang San. Just since you used your third soul skill on Dai Mubai earlier, you will take on one of his opponents. Xiao Wu, show me your third soul skill. Xiao Wu laughed and approached Tang San. Be careful, Xiao San. Two battles began almost simultaneously. Tang San faced Xiao Wu, while Dai Mubai faced Ma Hongjun and Oscar. Seeing Dai Mubai's displeased face, Ma Hongjun couldn't help but feel a bit apprehensive. Boss Dai, you're not going to vent your anger on me, are you? Dai Mubai replied irritably. You're the only one with evil fire. Stop talking and come on. With that, he charged at Ma Hongjun. Ma Hongjun quickly completed his martial soul possession, took 2 sausages from Oscar, and retreated rapidly. Facing the aggressive Dai Mubai, Ma Hongjun didn't dare let him get close and immediately activated his second soul skill, Phoenix Fire Bath. Intense purple flames erupted, spreading their heat through the air. The flames were clearly stronger than in the Stardow Forest. After facing many dangers in the Stardow Forest, not only Tang San and Xiao Wu had advanced in strength, but everyone had improved under pressure. Shrek students were geniuses, and their potential was further brought out in crises. Feeling the intense phoenix flames from Ma Hongjun, Dai Mubai didn't retreat but charged towards him. Although the flames could harm him, they weren't enough to seriously injure him. But if Ma Hongjun allowed him to get close, he would suffer greatly. Previously, if Ma Hongjun saw Dai Mubai close in, he would panic. Though his soul power wasn't low, his combat experience was far less than that of Dai Mubai and Tang San, relying mostly on his powerful flames. But facing Dai Mubai's charge now, Ma Hongjun not only didn't panic, but he also showed a sly smile. Dai Mubai wouldn't give up his attack due to the opponent's expression. As he was about to pounce on Ma Hongjun's first soul ring suddenly lit up, and a thick phoenix flame shot out. After the battles in the Stardow Forest, Ma Hongjun found that using Phoenix Fire Line within Phoenix Fire Bath greatly increased its power, almost comparable to some third soul skills. This is the advantage of a naturally powerful martial soul. Dai Mubai snorted. He had anticipated this move. His first and second soul rings lit up simultaneously, activating White Tiger Barrier and White Tiger Light Wave. Intense white light and purple fire collided in the air. Despite the increased power of the Phoenix Fire Line within the Phoenix Fire Bath, Ma Hongjun still suffered due to the 10-level difference in soul power with Dai Mubai. With a grunt, Ma Hongjun retreated rapidly. Dai Mubai, with his rich combat experience, pounced like a fierce white tiger with his claws extended. Boss Dai, I'm not fighting alone, Ma Hongjun said calmly. As Dai Mubai was about to reach him, Ma Hongjun suddenly flew backward at an amazing speed, and in a flash, he was dozens of meters away. Dai Mubai was stunned. Though Ma Hongjun's martial soul had flight capabilities, his current soul power wasn't enough to enable flight. He realized it was due to Oscar's mushroom sausage. With the mushroom sausage, Ma Hongjun could fly for a minute with the speed of the phoenix tail crest serpent, which Dai Mubai couldn't match. You only have 1 minute, Dai Mubai thought with a cold smile, shifting his body to avoid Ma Hongjun's downward phoenix fire line and charged at Oscar. First, deal with this auxiliary solution, and the battle will be over in a minute. Unfortunately, his plans fell through. Oscar was well prepared. Seeing that Dai Mubai had turned his attention towards him, he didn't wait for him to get close and had already eaten a mushroom sausage, soaring into the air. Although Dai Mubai's White Tiger Light Wave can attack from a distance, it can only reach 20 meters. Extending it further would require a large consumption of soul power. Previously, during his fight with Tang San, he used the White Tiger Vajra transformation, which had already consumed a lot of his soul power. Naturally, he didn't dare to overextend himself now. Seeing Oscar and Ma Hongjun in the air, each eating a recovery sausage, Oscar quickly made more of his peculiar martial soul beside Ma Hongjun, while Ma Hongjun continuously spewed phoenix fire lines from above. With the help of the recovery sausage, His soul power was replenished to some extent, so he didn't have to worry about running out anytime soon. Under the amplification of the Phoenix Fire, Ma Hongjuan's Phoenix Fire lines were extremely powerful, leaving deep grooves on the ground. What frustrated Dai Mubai even more was that this chubby guy's continuous sweeping fire attacks from the air made him, who wasn't particularly agile, look very pathetic. Relying solely on the White Tiger Shield from his first Soul Ring skill couldn't block the fire. He had no choice but to use the White Tiger Light Wave to counter when he couldn't dodge. However, with one side having the support of recovery sausages and the other having already consumed a lot of soul power, the balance tipped. By the time Ma Hongjun ate his second mushroom sausage to stay airborne, Dai Mubai's soul power was starting to run low. If Dai Mubai had been at his peak, he could have relied on his ample soul power to outlast Ma Hongjun, as Oscar's recovery sausage only restores a small amount of soul power each time. Producing mushroom sausages also took a toll on Oscar. If he could hold out for a while, these two would eventually have to land. But now, with the earlier consumption from the White Tiger Vajra transformation and Oscar's increased speed in making recovery sausages since reaching level 30, Ma Hongjuan's endurance was clearly going to last longer. By the time Ma Hongjun ate his third mushroom sausage, Dai Mubai's White Tiger Light Wave was already struggling to block the Phoenix Fire lines. His soul power was insufficient to keep up. Meanwhile, on the other side, Tang San and Xiao Wu were also fully engaged in their fight. When Dai Mubai and Ma Hongjun began their confrontation, Tang San and Xiao Wu were already battling. Tang San and Xiao Wu had fought countless times. The blue silver grass quickly spread around him, ready to activate the binding skill if Xiao Wu entered its range. Tang San was familiar with Xiao Wu, and Xiao Wu was equally familiar with him. Although Tang San's blue silver grass had undergone significant changes after obtaining his third soul ring, Xiao Wu had observed his fight with Dai Mubai and roughly understood the extent of the changes. Xiao San, do you have to be so cautious? Xiao Wu's slightly aggrieved voice sounded, tinged with a hint of complaint. Tang San instinctively looked up at her. Although he realized something was wrong during the process, it was already a bit too late. He saw Xiao Wu's eyes had turned pink. Xiao Wu's second soul ring skill, Charm, activated. Tang San felt a wave of dizziness in his mind. Fortunately, he closed his eyes immediately, preventing the skill from fully taking effect. But after reaching level 30, Xiao Wu's soul skill had also strengthened, causing Tang San's brain to briefly go blank. Cursing himself for being careless, Tang San realized he had relaxed too much since arriving at Shrek Academy and hadn't sparred with Xiao Wu. If he had activated the Purple Demon Eye from the start, he wouldn't have been caught off guard. The Purple Demon Eye was the nemesis of Xiao Wu's charm skill. Even Xiao Wu hadn't expected her success. Seeing Tang San close his eyes and the blue-silver grass losing its luster, she didn't miss the opportunity. She quietly moved towards Tang San. Strictly speaking, Xiao Wu should be considered an agility attack type soul master. However, unlike Zhu Zhuqing, who would strike and retreat quickly, Xiao Wu's attacks required close contact. Despite his brain briefly going blank, Tang San's subconscious still protected him. Without hesitation, he raised his right hand, and the blue-green light of the blue-silver grass activated again. The light expanded instantly, creating a 5-meter-wide spiderweb that blocked all possible attack routes in front of Tang San. Xiao Wu's charge was no exception. At this moment, Xiao Wu seemed to have exhausted her moves, with no possibility of changing direction. She was about to be caught in Tang San's web, which was strong enough to trap even Dai Mubai. Once entangled, she would be paralyzed and unable to fight. But just like Ma Hongjun with the mushroom sausage, Xiao Wu faced the web without panic. As the master had said, every soul skill has a counter. As the web approached, Xiao Wu's third soul ring suddenly shone, revealing her third soul skill for the first time. The purple light from her third soul ring enveloped her body, and she disappeared. Tang San, breaking free from the charm skill thanks to the Purple Demon Eye and his determination, saw her vanish just as he regained his senses. With Xiao Wu gone, Tang San's web hit empty space. The purple light reappeared behind the web, and Xiao Wu's slender legs were already on Tang San's shoulders. Her teasing voice rang out, Xiao San, you lost. In past confrontations, once Xiao Wu got close, Tang San had no chance without using hidden weapons. After reaching level 30, Xiao Wu's soul power had increased significantly. Despite the barrier of clothing, Tang San could feel the incredible strength in her legs. With a swift movement, her legs wrapped around his neck, and her first soul skill, waist bow, activated, lifting Tang San off the ground. With her increased soul power, Xiao Wu's waist bow could now enhance her waist strength by over 120%, making it irresistible for any soul master of the same level. Feeling the force in Xiao Wu's body leaning back, Tang San shouted, not necessarily. The blue-green light of the blue-silver grass appeared again, this time wrapping around himself. The spider web restraint skill, being an instant cast, immediately entangled both Tang San and Xiao Wu. Although her waist bow was successful, their entanglement prevented her from throwing Tang San, and they fell to the ground together. For the first time, Tang San felt the horror of his spider web restraint. The sticky web made of blue-silver grass tightened around them, pressing their bodies together. In this position, Xiao Wu's legs were wrapped around Tang San's neck, her body bent backward. The entanglement pressed her round, warm bottom against Tang San's lower body, causing him to feel a rush of heat. Xiao Wu couldn't activate her third soul skill again due to the paralyzing and burning effect of the web, which was ineffective on Tang San but very effective on her. This was also the moment when Dai Mubai, his soul power greatly depleted, could no longer fight. Alright, you can all stop now, the master's voice rang out just as Oscar landed from the air. Dai Mubai realized too late that while Oscar's sausages had a reduced effect on himself, his soul power was too low to take advantage of this opportunity to turn the tables. Tang San retracted the web, helping Xiao Wu up. Both looked embarrassed, with Xiao Wu's face red like a ripe apple. Tang San's scent lingered on her, making her shyly lower her head, avoiding her nominal brother's gaze. The master didn't seem to notice the awkwardness between Tang San and Xiao Wu. He had Ma Hongjun land and looked around at the five who had fought. Share your thoughts, he said. Dai Mubai, extremely frustrated, muttered, if my soul power had been at its peak, they wouldn't have had a chance.